Wrestling fans, it is another Tuesday night, and I'm here to review tonight's episode of NXT TV. And it wasn't hard to watch, but it was just like, like what are they gonna do? Like, how are they gonna repair this Kross situation? Things like that. But before I get into that, I want to talk about the Kross situation because all day today, Karrion Kross has been on everybody's mind. NXT has been in everybody's fingers, Twitter fingers. So let's talk about it real quick. Karrion Kross lost to Jeff Hardy and last night's Monday Night Raw. And I believe, 2 minutes or under 2 minutes or a little over 2 minutes or something like that. And a lot of people have an issue with this. A lot of people have a problem. I don't like it either. I don't like the NXT champion losing. But after further review and after putting some thought to it, which I think more wrestling fans should do, I'm not talking about the media and the people who actually have to do certain shit. And, I'm not talking about the people who seriously do this for their job, right? I'm just talking about the wrestling fans that who overreact at certain times to everything. Now just think about it. Jeff Hardy is a former WWE champion. He's not some scrub or no one to play with, right? And now I see the other side as well. Karrion Kross being undefeated. But that's in NXT. And I like to think, and they've been telling us forever, that NXT is obviously separate from the main roster. Now, look, I'm not trying to make anybody mad. I'm not trying to, make this a whole thing or situation where I try and sound and act like I know everything, because I'm not. I'm just giving my honest opinion on the whole situation. Karrion Kross is undefeated on NXT. It's kind of like with Charlotte, right? Like, they recognize the 11 championships that she's won in WWE, but they don't count the ones that she won over in NXT. I don't know why they seem to, sometimes they count, sometimes they don't count, but all of us know this is how the WWE is. This is how they operate. Vince McMahon is in charge. He does what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. And that's unfortunate. I know it sucks. And it shouldn't be like that, but it is. But if there's one thing that I know, is that any and everything is repairable. Look at Roman Reigns, for example. Look at how many times we said Roman Reigns was buried and the fans hated Roman Reigns and every situation, every title match, everything that he had done, Royal Rumble wins, etc. There are so many incidents where we we're like, oh my God, he's being booked horrible. Oh my God, you can't come back from this. And look at him now, the hottest thing in fucking pro wrestling, arguably, right? I think he's the hottest fucking thing in wrestling, period, 100%. Nobody can touch him right now. He's that hot. He's that good. But I always believed in him, though. And there's a very small portion of wrestling fans that have been with him and stuck with him from day one. And maybe their only critique was that he just wasn't being booked correctly, which that is true. But a lot of people thought he sucked. Sometimes when you're booked wrong, wrestling fans automatically go to, oh, well, he sucks or she sucks. Nah, sometimes it's the booking, right? It has nothing to do with the actual wrestler, the actual person, right? And I think sometimes when you're an excellent wrestler, it doesn't matter how you're booked. I mean, in the WWE, yeah, if you're booked to look like an idiot, then people are going to be mad at management. They're not going to be mad at the wrestler, right? But I feel like with Roman, everyone's mad at the wrestler. And I'm not saying that people are mad at Karrion Kross, because no one's mad at Karrion Kross. But prior to Karrion Kross making his appearance on Monday Night Raw, people are already writing him off, saying that he's trash, saying that he's not that good, saying that he's boring. I remember a few takeovers ago, people were like, all right, he's boring, just already writing him off. So why be so furious and angry over how he's being booked on Monday Night Raw if you don't even like the guy in the first place? You didn't like him the way he was being booked in NXT. So why are you complaining about him being booked on Monday Night Raw? And this is not to anyone. Look, man, you can have your own opinion. I'm not directly like shooting for anybody or talking about anybody in particular. This is just in general, because when I look at Twitter, I see, you got some people who feel this way, some people who feel that way. And I just think that the people who feel like Karrion Kross sucks in general and he was being booked horribly in NXT because he's got all these people pulling his card, making him look like a chump. And then he goes to Monday Night Raw, and I don't think he was made to look like a chump, but it was a wake-up call. I mean, again, he was missing a lot of elements of him. He was missing the mystique, the entrance. It wasn't all the way put together. Scarlett wasn't there. Maybe he needs that. Maybe that's something he needs, and maybe, he'll get that down the line. Jeff Hardy ain't no scrub either, so let's put some respect on Jeff Hardy's name. And let's quit acting like he's not a world champion. Yes, I know he lost to Jinder. I know he lost to Sheamus. I know he lost to all these other people. And the last match he had was on Main Event. And he hasn't been on Raw for the longest, right? But, hey, he's still a world champ. Still Jeff fucking Hardy. He got no more words back. Come on, man. I get it, though. He's the NXT champion. Karrion Kross should have won that match, no doubt. Anyways, welcome to Within the Ropes podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I am the host, Brian Tronick, your host, Brian Tronick, the host, Brian Tronick. And this is the NXT review. And we're going to talk about tonight's episode of NXT, tonight's edition of NXT, rather. Let's start from the top. Speaking of Karrion Kross, Samoa Joe came out very angry at Karrion Kross after what he did last week on NXT. He comes out and he says, "TikTok, he's here to smash Karrion Kross's clock." William Regal power walks down to the ring and he tells Samoa Joe this is not what he had in mind when he brought him back. Samoa Joe says last week Karrion Kross provoked him. He provoked him. He said, "You can consider me provoked." All right? William Regal has no control over Karrion Kross, Joe says. Samoa Joe then goes on and he says he's going to put him down. William Regal had no idea that Kross made a trip to Raw this week. Regal tells Joe to end this peacefully. He says, end it peacefully. William Regal then added that Karrion Kross is on his way to the arena. He's on his way to the building. And tonight will not descend into chaos. Samoa Joe says he respects Regal, but he can't promise this ends peacefully. Joe does promise by the end of the night someone's going to sleep. And man, he was fucking right about that. Someone certainly went to sleep tonight on NXT. Good promo to start off the show. Good segment. Samoa Joe come out. He's ready. He's about business. He's serious. And William Regal being like, "Hey, no, none of that, right?" You'll see why I said what I said about Karrion Kross and the reason why I think he's going to be fine when this is all said and done and when we get to the end of this review. First match we get is Diamond Mines, Roderick Strong, and Tyler Rust going up against Bobby Fish and Kushida. As they were making their way down to the ring, Bobby Fish and Kushida attack them from behind. They go to commercial break. The match started, obviously, during the break. Bobby Fish working strong. Kushida and Fish double team strong. Kushida works over Roderick Strong's arm. Roderick Strong manages to tag in Tyler Rust. Tyler Rust and Fish trade shots. Bobby Fish hits a senton for a near fall after a pin. Roderick Strong tags back in. And then Kushida tries a running arm breaker, but Roderick Strong reverses it into a backbreaker. Messiah. Right? Tyler Rust and Roderick Strong take turns working over Kushida. Kushida manages to tag in Bobby Fish. Fish clears the ring. Roderick Strong and Tyler Rust double team Bobby Fish. Kushida gets the hot tag and lands an arm breaker on Roderick Strong. Strong tags in Rust, who rolls Kushida into an ankle lock. Kushida escapes it and then lands a few strikes. It's a flipping suplex by Tyler Russ. Tyler Russ is awesome, man. I love the way Tyler Russ works. He's perfect for this Diamond Mine. What is it? The prospect, the young prospect. Bobby Fish breaks the pin after an attempt, and then Kushida locks Russ in the hoverboard lock, and Tyler Russ immediately taps out, and Fish and Kushida win this match. You know, I was thinking, and I almost tweeted it too, that Bobby Fish, because earlier in the night, Malcolm Bivens said that the Diamond Mine is open for business, and I was for sure Bobby Fish was going to turn on Kushida here and join Roderick Strong, Rust, Suzuki, and Malcolm Bivens, but I was wrong. There's still a chance, though. Who knows? I want to see them spice this thing up, man. They're talking about the cruiserweight division and all that. Come on now. Backstage, we show LA Knight and Butler Cameron Grimes pulling up to the CWC from earlier. Drake Maverick got into an argument with LA Knight after trying to help Cameron Grimes with LA Knight's bags. So you know what that leads to. A match. A freaking match. The next matchup we got is Franky Monet against Jacy Jayne. Kind of sounds like Lacey Lane or something like that. Jesse Kamea was at the managerial service for Franky Monet. Robert Stone walks down to the ring and cheers Monet on as well. This match gets started. Jayne boots Monet in the face. Jayne misses a senton in the corner. Franky Monet crushes Jayne with a running double knee strike. Mandy Rose comes through the crowd and starts to watch over the match, lays on the announce desk. And then in confusion, Jayne takes Monet over with a Rana. Running neck breaker by Jayne, and then Monet fires up and hits the road to Valhalla. Valhalla for the W. 1, 2, 3. Franky Monet wins this match. And then Mandy Rose just disappeared. So it's a cool story. I'm excited for Mandy Rose to kind of not only help the NXT brand, because I know she will, but kind of have a different role herself. On the main roster, she's sort of kind of like the eye candy. She has the reputation of eye candy that can't wrestle, right? But we'll see what her role is here in NXT. We get an interview with Wade Barrett and Bronson Reed. Bronson says losing the North American Championship has affected him and that Reed is going to press on and continue to fight. Barrett asks Reed about his conflict with Adam Cole, and Bronson Reed says that Cole is looked at as the best and he wants to beat the best. Well, we'll see about that. Because Bay ain't going nowhere. Earlier in the night, we got a backstage little moment there. It's Kyle O'Reilly and Austin Theory. Kyle O'Reilly challenged Austin Theory to a match. Austin Theory accepted it. So that's the match we got. Kyle O'Reilly versus Austin Theory. The match starts with O'Reilly working over Austin's arm. Theory responds with a suplex. Austin works over Kyle O'Reilly, and then O'Reilly sends Theory out to the apron. Kyle O'Reilly blasts Theory with a running PK. Theory falls off the apron. They go to a short commercial break, and after the break, Theory tries his rolling drop kick, but Kyle O'Reilly counters and traps Austin Theory in a flying heel hook. Theory gets to the ropes, and then Theory slams O'Reilly. Theory then stomps O'Reilly, then immediately hits a deadlift suplex, which looked very, very good. Kyle O'Reilly then fires up and lands a flurry of strikes. Theory ends up in the corner, running forearm by O'Reilly. Then O'Reilly hits a butterfly suplex into an armbar. Austin Theory then tries to block it. Kyle O'Reilly transitions it into an ankle lock. Then Austin Theory gets to the ropes. Kyle O'Reilly drops a knee on Theory's arm. And then Austin Theory manages to hit a spin-out powerbomb. Kyle then kicks out after a pin attempt. Austin Theory hits a modified Ushigorshi. I don't know how to say that fucking word, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Kyle O'Reilly then kicks out again. Theory picks up the ring steps. Kyle O'Reilly goes nuts and unloads on Austin Theory. Kyle O'Reilly hits the King Kong knee to one of Austin Theory's knees. And then O'Reilly locks in a knee bar, and Austin Theory taps out after painfully screaming and scorching. Kyle O'Reilly wins this match in a good one. I thought it was a good one. Thought it was pretty good. We had a little backstage segment with The Way shortly after. Indy Hartwell says if he wants to kiss Dexter Lumis, let him kiss Dexter Lumis. I'm sure everyone chuckled or giggled at that. We had a Legado del Fantasma mariachi band celebration, if you will. I already knew what this was. This was definitely Legado versus Hit Row. Hit Row came out to interrupt what Santos Escobar was talking about. Santos says he wants the North American Championship. And then Swerve and everybody comes out. They make fun of Santos. It was a lot of cuss words, a lot of shit being said, a lot of talking shit back and forth. I like it. I like that shit. It's the edge that I feel NXT needs. I think any wrestling show needs that. More realism, right? Cabron. That's what Escobar called Isaiah Swerve Scott. Eventually a brawl breaks out, and then Swerve hits Wild Joaquin with the guitar. And then you already know what's going on. I put a poll on Twitter. I said, who you rocking with? You rocking with Legado or you rocking with Hit Row? And last time I checked, it was like 70-something% was rocking with Hit Row. I was telling my wife earlier, I said, I feel like Legado is the fan favorite, the in-house fan favorite, and Hit Row is more of the internet favorite because the crowd was booing for the majority time Hit Row, and they were cheering on Santos Escobar. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens going forward with this whole situation, and maybe we'll get a 6-man tag, or maybe Santos Escobar will get himself a North American Championship match. You know, this whole whenever you get stables or groups in NXT, one of them always trying to go after the main title, and the other two are always fighting each other. Neither one of them have the tag titles, but they're always fighting each other to see who's going to get a shot at the tag titles. It's kind of weird. But we got some NXT Breakout tournament action. Andre Chase against Big Odyssey Jones. In the match, Chase tried to leapfrog. Odyssey Jones caught him and almost hits a power bomb, but Andrew Chase was able to Andre Chase, was able to escape. Is his name Andrew or Andre? I gotta look that up real quick. Hold on. Let me double back. Andrew Chase or Andre Chase? Oh, it's Andre. Okay. I guess Andrew just rolls off the tongue better. I don't know. Jones sends him out of the ring. Chase tries to connect with a dive, but ends up crashing and burning. Odyssey Jones then slams Andre. I'm just going to say Chase. Jones slams Chase on the announce desk, and then Chase pushes Jones into the ring post. Chase hits a moonsault for a near fall. Jones hits his finish ultimately and picks up the victory here, advancing in the Breakout tournament. Where's the bracket? I don't know if it's just me, but where the fuck is the NXT Breakout bracket, and why haven't we seen it yet? I'm kind of losing track between the matches that they're having on 205 Live and then the ones they're having on NXT TV. Like, I don't really know who's in the bracket or who's even in the tournament anymore at this point. Backstage, MSK is getting interviewed. They're about to tell us what MSK stands for after being asked, but then Imperium cuts into the feed and talks about how terrible MSK is. And when the feed goes back to normal, Wesley is already done explaining what MSK means. And so we didn't get to find out what MSK meant. But one thing I want to talk about is what's wrong with the fans. Why are we booing MSK? MSK are the good guys here. Why are we booing the good guys? Are they that boring to you? You know what? Maybe it's the look. You know, some could argue and say that MSK, they just don't look like good guys, right? They're portrayed as good guys, but they don't look like good guys. That may be a little weird to say. I don't know. That's kind of weird now that I think about it. That's kind of weird. But I mean, it's from a wrestling standpoint, when I look at these guys, they could be some badass bad guys, right? But I think they're fine as good guys, and I think the fans need to fucking suck it up and figure it out, man. NXT needs to get the fuck out of the CWC. In fact, they announced August 22nd, Sunday, NXT TakeOver 34, I believe. But they didn't say where. They didn't say if it was going to be in Vegas, since it's the night after SummerSlam. They didn't say if it was going to be at the CWC, Full Sail, if it was going to be at a different venue in Vegas, if it's going to be in Reno. Where is it going to be? I don't know. I would like to know, though. And I'm sure a lot of you wrestling fans out there listening to this would want to know as well. We get LA Knight against Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick's already in the ring. LA Knight and Cameron Grimes make their way to the ring. Knight tells Cameron to hold the $1 Million Championship in the air during the match. After an accidental distraction by Grimes, and LA Knight basically connecting head first with the $1 Million Championship, Drake Maverick was able to roll up LA Knight and get the pin for the victory. This was a little weird on the fact that LA Knight lost, but it was good because it was shenanigans. It was because, in a sense, he can say it was because of Cameron Grimes, right? So I'm not mad at it. It was funny. But Drake Maverick, I mean, it's kind of random, right? Drake Maverick being in that whole situation. Drake Maverick doesn't have a partner, you guys. He's on his own. Ever since Killian Dane got released, he is on his own by himself. And I don't know. I put him in the fucking Diamond Mine. Put Drake Maverick in the Diamond Mine. There it is. That's the campaign. Put Drake Maverick in the Diamond Mine. Let him get some edge because I know he got it. And let him thrive, man. Don't let Drake Maverick get lost in the sauce. Okay. And brand 205 Live to NXT. NXT 205 Live. That's another thing I want to see before this year is over also. NXT 205 Live and Drake Maverick to the Diamond Mine. That's what I'm going with. After the match, LA Knight holds Drake Maverick and tells Grimes to hit him. Grimes refuses. LA Knight reminds Grimes of their deal. Right? Like, you're my butler. You're supposed to do everything I tell you to do. Grimes eventually clocks Maverick, and then Grimes is just disgusted him with himself. Disgusted, right? Really upset, truly upset. But hey, you agreed to this. You got to do what you're told. You do what you're told, not what you want. That's what my mom and daddy used to say. Backstage, Samoa Joe pulls a guy out of the car because he thinks it's Karrion Kross. Obviously, because he's bald. The guy driving tells Samoa Joe that Kross is in the building. So then Joe makes his way back in the building, searching for Karrion Kross. And at this point, we get our main event of the night for the NXT Women's Championship, Raquel Gonzalez with Dakota Kai versus Xia Li. This match started with Xia Li grabbing a side headlock. Excuse me. Gonzalez then shoulder blocks Xia Li. Xia Li hops on Gonzalez's back. Gonzalez tosses Xia Li down to the mat. Raquel lawn darts Xia Li into the ring post. Xia Li manages to slam her Gonzalez's leg into the ring post multiple times with Dakota Kai looking on. Xia Li sends Gonzalez into the rope or the ring steps. They're not the rope steps. Within the rope steps. Sends her into the ring steps. And then after a short break, Xia Li is having her way with Raquel Gonzalez's knee. And then Xia Li puts Gonzalez into a crab, but then Raquel powers out of it. And Raquel fires up and lands a few strikes. Xia Li then hits a spin kick to Raquel's back. Raquel Gonzalez kicks out after a pinfall attempt. Raquel manages to hit a spinning senton off the second rope. Xia Li kicks out, and Xia Li seemed to have suffered an injury. I don't know if she got a broken rib or what's going on, but it didn't look too good. Referee holds Raquel back. The medical staff check on Xia Li. Raquel screams for Xia Li to get up. Xia Li gets up to her feet. Gonzalez hits her power bomb, and then she pins her for the 1-2-3. Raquel Gonzalez still the NXT Women's Champion. I don't know how legit the injury was or what was going on or how that came about or why they did that or I don't know. But Raquel is still the NXT Women's Champion. I know some of you don't really feel happy about that, but hey, it is what it is, man. Raquel Gonzalez is still the NXT Women's Champion. As Raquel and Dakota Kai are leaving, Samoa Joe power walks to the ring, starts to yell for Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross appears on the Titantron screen, and he tells Joe that he is not in control. And then the camera pans down, and Kross has William Regal completely laid out, and that goes back to what I said in the beginning of the night, or rather what Samoa Joe said in the beginning of the night, that somebody's going to be put to sleep. And then, yeah, that was true. William Regal was asleep. He was out. Karrion Kross gets in his car and drives off as Samoa Joe running from the ring all the way to the back into the parking lot to chase, but Kross is gone. Now, listen, that was how tonight's episode of NXT ended. And I like it. Again, like you don't look that loss on Raw can be smoothed over really good if you try hard enough, right? And I think Triple H and his staff and everybody at NXT has the ability to do that, right? It is what it is. If you can get buried on Raw and nothing on NXT matters, then you can look like a fucking monster on NXT and nothing on Raw matters. Honestly, if you really think about it, if people are saying, and this is just my opinion, you don't have to agree with it, but if people are saying that, oh my God, Kross is buried, he looked like shit on Raw, it's very much so possible that he could look like the man on NXT, but look like I don't know. Okay, it sounds stupid when I say it so many times, but y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all understand where I'm coming from, okay? Justice for Kross. I think Kross is fine, but yes, he was done wrong on Monday Night Raw, and hopefully they right that wrong and have Scarlett be with him. I noticed that there was no Scarlett around at all during this episode of NXT, so it kind of worries me, but I'm not too worried. I think Karrion Kross is going to be fine. I think he's going to be okay. I would like to see Jeff Hardy tie up with him again, and I would like to see Kross get a little bit of payback, be a little serious. You could tell the story. You could tell the story great. Kross, no more underestimating, no more coming on Monday Night Raw just because you got the NXT title thinking you're the man. No, get your ass back to Raw, hurt him, okay, and then go on about your day. And that's it. That's all of NXT. That's all I got. I believe they got some matches announced for next week, right? Right? They got some matches announced for next week. Let's look. Let's give you the rundown. Let's tell you what they got going on next week. I believe next week they are taped as well. They're going to be on the Sci-Fi Network. So let's see. Let's give it. So yeah, next week we got Carmelo Hayes and Josh Briggs and another first round NXT Breakout tournament match. So I'm excited about that. Let's go, Carmelo. Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan are going to take on Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. Ciampa. Okay, I tried. Never mind. And then Adam Cole is going to be taking on Bronson Reed in the main event next week. NXT on Sci-Fi. It is going to be taped, so I'm sure we're going to get lots of spoilers. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Make sure you follow Within the Ropes on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram. Go to the YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube Within the Ropes podcast. Search it in the search bar, or just go to withintheropespodcast.com and click on the link. You know, I'm gonna move it at the top because I feel like I'm saying it, but people are gonna click on it and not really look for it or anything. I'm gonna make it easy for y'all. Okay, I'm reloaded or something like that. Sorry. Subscribe to the YouTube though. I got some cool things coming, some cool ideas that I'm gonna eventually bring to is it fruition or light? I don't know. Y'all know what I mean. Some shit I want to do, okay? And I'm gonna do it, but I'm still putting the pieces together and I'm making it happen. All right. Within the Ropes is gonna expand. We're gonna be doing some shit. We're gonna not expand, like it's just gonna be me. Like I'm not, we ain't expanding, like growing, like ain't gonna be no other people working in different departments, but we're gonna be having some other voices and different perspectives and things going on this show. And I want to do that, and it's gonna be fun. And so stay tuned, but subscribe to the YouTube though, because you're gonna want to do that because you're gonna be seeing this lovely face soon. And I know you gotta match the face with the voice because the voice is just impeccable when I say the Queen City. Okay, I should try out for that ring announcer, WWE ring announcer thing on TikTok, and then do my Charlotte flair. I'm gonna need Charlotte to go to SmackDown though, because Mike Rome don't say it right. Anyways, I'm done. Thank you all for listening. I'm gonna say it one more time. Follow Within the Ropes on Twitter. Follow Within the Ropes on Instagram. Don't forget the Instagram. Is Instagram not popular now? Is it not popping? Go like Within the Ropes podcast on Facebook, facebook.com/Within the Ropes podcast. Go do that. I don't know if you just heard my computer telling me I'm low on space, but that means I got to go. Everyone have a good night. Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans, good night.